How's it going, everybody? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the new Avengers. This is an Envoy exclusive. We're going to see a gameplay of them. We're going to talk about them. I'll quickly go over T4's Isolate, where this team is going to be used, some things that we now know because of the other teams in another video that just got posted, another Envoy exclusive, kind of, sort of, but not really, talking about the Pegasus team and the zombie Juggernaut characters. That's going to be in a different video. You're not going to see gameplay there, though. You'll see gameplay here, so check this one out. This team is bonkers strong. Just be prepared. This team will change the war landscape, and I guess we're going to see how they interact with the other new war team. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and let's get to it. I'd like to give a giant thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Into the AM. You guys know I love this clothing company. They were one of the very first sponsors to ever support this channel, and I gotta say, I'm so happy they like this partnership because I love their clothing and I can't stop picking it up. As you guys know, I literally have a drawer stocked full of Into the AM clothing, and it's great. And then my son's drawer is starting to get full. My wife's drawer is starting to get full. They all love it. The comfort, the quality, the graphics on these t-shirts, it can't be beat. It literally can't. And then the pricing. They have the most generous price. Right now, they're having an end of season sale, 60% off on certain items. Let's go check out some of those items. And I'm sure, yep, we're going to find some absolutely beautiful graphic t-shirts, some bandanas, oh, really cool designs. I like that. That clockwork line, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Neon tank top, look, we can't be wearing that in Canada right now because it's about to snow here any day. But I'm very jealous of those who can wear something as cool as that. This volcanic t-shirt is literally my son's favorite t-shirt. He goes everywhere. His first day of school, he was rocking this t-shirt. So a really big sentimental value for me there. They're going to have this amazing sale running all the way until September 18th. And I want to give a huge shout out to the next sale they have at the end of the month from September 28th to October 2nd. That is going to be for graphic t-shirts. You know, I love the graphic t-shirts. I love the themes they do too, whether it be nature, Japanese inspired. They have the astronaut stuff. They have the psychedelic stuff. It's just everything is a hit, 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 hit. I love it to the AM. You will too. If you are going to hit them up, make sure you use promo code DORKY. That'll net you an additional 10% off and let them know that I sent you. Look, 10% off on a mystery design. I got to try this mystery design thing because this is so cool. None of their designs miss at 60% off plus an additional 10% off if you use my code DORKY. You literally can't go wrong. Check out Into the AM, guys. Again, that's promo code DORKY so they know that I sent you. And I'm going to leave you with their words because I think they're super wise. Stay inspired. And now let's get back to the video. Alright guys, before we get into the gameplay, I just wanted to talk about these characters a little bit. And we're going to be very brief, and we'll talk about where they're going to be usable and where I would kind of recommend people use them. So quickly, if we look at Coulson, I like everything but the basic T-Ford. I have all this up on the Patreon. We have the infographics done for them, kind of the priority, all that. I love him as a Raider. I think it's way better than Striker, even with the turn meter rewind stuff. He's going to be like your fourth most important character to build, at least as far as the war scene goes. So you're going to really dig that. Tigra, everything is important to T4 because of bleed damage being affected by abilities. And then we want her as a Striker, again, to fuel some bleeds. She is a glass cannon tank, as you're going to see in the footage. Thing, we want everything. No, I'm just kidding. You don't need the basic. You don't need the ultimate done. I did them on accident. The special, the passive are nice. The passive is a luxury. It looks essential. It's not. Really just the thing special is essential. I love him as a Raider. When his special crits 5 times, it'll kill literally anybody. Super Skrull, Apocalypse, not the exception. They will also die if Thing crits 5 times in a row on him. This guy's a tank. Not really. He's a brawler, I guess. Then we have Mockingbird. Now, Mockingbird, you want everything but the basic. I like her as a healer. If you put a Striker on her, then she will get an extra heal off. And speaking about her basic, it would actually increase the healing. Maybe that's the go-to when we do the legendary event, which we're going to talk about. Not the Striker part, but the basic T4 part. As far as Striker goes on her, the healing is not needed in war, and you'd really want your Ronin and Tigra to be eating the vulnerables, not Mockingbird. I would much rather have Mockingbird as a Raider just to get more vulnerables out than a Striker, for sure. And then finally, Ronin, everything but the basic T4 is really good on him, starting with the ultimate, then the special, then the passive. Once again, guys, I do all these infographics. It's on the Patreon, which you can see in the description below if you want to join up. If not, at the end of this patch, then it's going to go out for free into the Discord. I love him as a Striker. He's going to be the character that goes last on the team, even after Coulson, even if Mockingbird gives him the speed bar. This is great. It's perfect because Coulson puts defense down on somebody and Ronan comes in and just ruins their day. He turns basically every single matchup into a 4v5, which is really, really impressive. So I love this team as far as the turn sequence goes. It's really impressive. Now let's talk about this team, because I just said I love this team, and I know a lot of you don't, mostly because it was announced to be needed for a legendary event, which we now know is not for the tech raid. So that might come as good news to some of you. The tech raid team is going to be Pegasus with Zombie Juggernaut. Now, yeah, surprise, Tana was right. We're not going to talk about that in this video. I have another video out at this exact same time. If you want to watch that, you can head on over there. We're going to go over their kits together. So this team is needed for a legendary. Who's that legendary going to be? I still think it's going to be Green Goblin, but I think it's going to be Cosmic Crucible, no longer Raid, which is kind of cool. So maybe like Ronan or Electro are going to be able to make that team since they're not tech. Because if we look at the legendaries we've had so far, we have Nova, War, Black Cat, Arena. Now we know we need Raid and Crucible for the next two legendaries. Well, no other section needs a new Raid team. So it'd be super weird if the next legendary is a Raid character. I think it'd go over super poorly. So Crucible is the only thing that makes sense. So Sinister 6 Crucible team is going to be my guess, locking it in. And Electro has a really fun kit, so I'm glad that she might actually get some play. Mobile Gamer leaked it like 6 months ago. You guys remember that? So maybe you want to build this team, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't care about Crucible, so you're going to go ahead and hard skip that. Maybe you want to build this team just very barely, so you get a very small start unlock on the next legend character. And I think that's going to be kind of welcoming for some people. They really don't want to build this because they don't like War. With that said, we're going to go through some footage right now. This is a crazy strong War offense and defense team. Depending on where you play in the game, you are going to be able to flex and put them on either side with great success. But I'm burying the lead. Let's go ahead and watch some gameplay footage right now. Alright guys, so with all that talk about the new Avenger team out of the way on the T4s, Isolate, and all that kind of stuff I like to talk about, let's start actually using this team. I want to show them on the defensive side first, and then we'll shift focus over to the offensive side. We're going to be facing a 1.3 million new Avenger team. Coulson is the only gear tier 16. They're all ISO 3 on the blue, and we're going to go in here first with our Underworld team. So let's go ahead and get in there, and I've done testing for this. Look, this is going to be an absolute bloodbath. And yes, if you haven't seen the other video, Zombie Juggernaut is coming. So you can bank on that, but I'm not going to be able to show gameplay for him here. All right, so as you see, we lose all of our speed bar right out the gate because of the Ronin passive, and then it's just absolute pandemonium. So Coulson's going to go ahead, he hits the Mr. Negative, and Mr. Negative dies. Look, this is unsurprisingly quick work. Ronin is supposed to counter teams that have speed bar on spawn, so we're not too shocked by this. So let's go in next, and we're only going to do 3 attacks on defense, because I know a lot of people want to see if the Secret Defender team will beat these guys, so let's jump over there. All right, so we're going to go in there with Secret Defenders and Quicksilver instead of Doctor Strange. The reason I'm doing that is because Quicksilver is also immune to turn meter rewind, so we're not worried about the Mockingbird rewind, the Ronin rewinds, all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and head in there. Now, we do know in this matchup that Hardlight does rely a little bit of on-spawn speed bar, so we're going to see how that plays into effect here. All right, so first things first is our Quicksilver gets stunned. I guess he has the highest focus on this current setup. That was Mockingbird comes in, but because we do have death proofs on Black Cat, we're actually okay. Mind you, this was a little bit of a punch down. I think it was about 300k punch down. Photon is in trouble, and Photon is absolutely gone. All right, now let's go ahead and use the Black Cat special. We're not looking good here, especially with that Quicksilver being stunned. This is unavoidable, so that's kind of nice. This, I believe this can be dodged. It just can't be counterattacked. Yeah, so there's a dodge there. That's unfortunate. Let's go rebalance. So we'll try and save our Quicksilver. And then Tigra Ultimate comes in. That's trauma. We don't really like that. Lots of bleeds. That's kind of a scary idea. We're still stuck behind this taunting Tigra. Not anymore. She's gone. So Black Cat really flexing her power there. Oof. We are in danger with all these bleeds. Thank God that Coulson Ultimate didn't clear Death Proof on Black Cat, though. Because then our Miss Marvel would have got rebounded really hard here if he's a striker, and he was a striker. So you see that Assaulter just doing absolutely pitiful damage. No one has... Oh, well, he does. I don't know if we want to go for Thing, though. I think we want to take Ronin or Mockingbird out here. You know what, though? I'm looking at the landscape. We're not going to win this fight. We already lost Robbie Reyes. Sure, we got a lot of death proofs here, but Kamala is in big trouble. Like, big trouble. We're stuck behind another taunt now. These Assaulters are not here for damage, guys. They're not even here for buff strips. They're literally here because they spawn in with taunt and death proofs. As you can see, it's an issue. All right, let's move on to the team that should beat these guys, and that is going to be the Knowhere team. So here we are facing off against the enemy New Avengers. We're going in with Knowhere, and we're actually doing a 130k punch down. This should be quick work. Now, we are countered a little bit here because Nova does lose his on-spawn turn bar. But he also counters the New Avengers because with those charges, he's going to resist the stun from Thing. He's also going to get targeted from Thing because he has like 3,000% extra focus and 6,000% extra resistance. He's also going to have the highest damage, so he's going to pull that attack from Coulson as well. So lots of damage coming in there. We haven't even lost a single charge on our Nova yet. We're stuck behind this taunt. Let's go ahead and throw that. It is unavoidable, which is nice. Big time offense up coming from the Korg onto our Nova. This is going to do really good damage. Thor is dead. Now, that's not something you like to see, but so is Thing, and so is Tigra. So just by virtue of Nova getting his turn with offense up, he absolutely decimated the enemy team. But the fact that our Thor died does make me wonder about the punching potential already. If our entire team, like, Thor is pretty tanky. If our entire team were to die, because we do see them absolutely peppered in bleeds right now, and then Nova takes a turn, do you win? So I think we would be benefited if we went ahead and we tried to find a punch up and see how that works. Let's play this one out, though, because it's not over yet. Well, now it is. He still has offense up. All right, I guess it's still not over yet. Oh, uh-oh. Cosmo's gone. So is Star-Lord. We're stuck here, but we can hit 3 of them. So now Ronin is gone. That's good. Korg is gone. Yeah, let's take out the people that'll actually be a danger to us, though. No taunts on these Assaulters yet, so we'll keep going for the Mockingbird. Get her out of here. And there you go. This is a 150k punch down in practice. We need to go try a punch up, though. Let's go check that out. All right, so now we are doing a 300,000 punch up. We need to see if Nova will just straight up solo this team the way he soloed the Black Cat trial, or if this team can actually be outclassed. Now, the good news here is that how often is the regular player going to be punching up into New Avengers? I know this is something I'm going to have to do when I face the likes of Legion, Mutiny, Baby Yoda, even Sex Panthers from time to time. I know I'll have to do these crazy punch-ups, but will you have to? Hard to say, because both of these teams are needed for legendary events, right? All right, so Nova already lost 1 charge. That's going to change the turn sequence here. It does look like Nova's going to go before Korg, so he's not going to have his offense up when he does his ability here. There was a bunch of damage. We just lost our Korg. Star-Lord looking not so great here. He doesn't have any death proofs. I am worried he's going to bite the bullet. All right, well, we got the Thing gone, and we got Tiger gone, so we're still looking okay. Nice little cleanse over there. Here comes Mockingbird doing a lot of damage on us. Coulson ultimate. There's the Ronin special. Damage coming in, so that's going to be a dead Thor. That could be a dead Cosmo here. Luckily, those Shield Assaulters don't do any damage. We definitely don't want those Shield Assaulters to get reworked. We do not want them doing more damage. That would be really bad for us. All right, there's a Coulson rewind on our Nova. We're not super fond of that because we do want... Yes, we do want our Nova to be able to do his ultimate and save the rest of our characters here. So it's actually going to end even cleaner than the last match did by the looks of it. So there is clearly moments of RNG here. So Mockingbird is already gone. And this was a 300k punch up. This was word practice. But something isn't right here, guys. And now it's truth-telling time. You guys know I'm not just here doing these 2 battles and then making a video on that. I've been practicing these battles. I've been testing them. And I can tell you that this had a 30% lose rate. There were many matches where my Knowhere team would be dead before my Nova got a turn, just based on turn meter. What it came down to in my testing and in my investigation, if you will, was Tigra doing her special, or her special on spawn, how many people it hits and takes the dodges off of, and then where the Mockingbird rewinds come from. In fact, let's go ahead and cut on over to one of those examples. So this is, of course, our Apex War Offense team. This is going to be our Knowhere team. Now, on the 10 times I did this fight, I won 9 of them. There was one weird outlier where Korg and Thor were dead before they got turns. And it kind of came down to turn meter manipulation, hitting certain people depending on who loses dodges from the Tigra. It also depends on how many charges Nova loses, so that because he gets speed up every time, or speed bar every time he kind of gets charges, right? Another reason why this team does work is because of those charges on Nova. So the Thing tries to default stun into him, but because Nova gets 2000% resistance for every charge, even though Thing does get 2000% focus on his ultimate, you don't get stunned. And it's the same thing for the Coulson ultimate. When it goes to hit the Nova, he doesn't get the defense down, he survives. Mind you, if you're looking at my Nova right now, I have already lost all of my charges. And we now lost Infinity War Thor. He did not get a turn. But we got some good cleansing out there. Tiger was brought back to life. That is a % chance from the medic. It's a 100% chance it does it on Coulson, but not on everybody else. Not looking good for us right now. If our Nova doesn't reach his ultimate, we are done for. That Tiger being res, not our favorite thing. And the stud is the nail in the coffin, and Nova's dead. It can win. It can win. All right, now it is time to switch gears, and it's time to test these guys on the offensive side. Now, unfortunately, I built my team up to 1.4 million. I did a bunch of testing with them at 900,000, but I wanted to face some other teams and see the viability. What I'll tell you is that in my testing on doing punch-ups, this team performed exactly like A-Force Photon did, where they were able to get through the Red Hulk and then they fell flat. But there's some bugs that are currently in the playtest that we have reported. This is why we do this. This is why we do testing. The developers are made aware and they're going to fix it. Furthermore, they're updating Coulson's kit to make it work the best. All right, so let's get in there and we're going to talk about what is going on, what you're going to see here, why it's probably not going to work here, and how they're going to address that. And then we're going to talk about the viability of this team on the offensive side. So the first things first, we got to use the Tigra special. And here's bug number 1. So Thing's ultimate is only supposed to attack the enemy with the highest focus on war defense. However, we're on war offense right now, and as you'll see, it's going to go right for Abomination. It should have been primary target. It should have peeled the taunt off of Green Hulk, and then it should have stunned him. That's something that we definitely want in this matchup. Luckily, at least for our testing sakes, to continue to play this out, we can see through Mockingbird's ultimate, which also takes taunt off now and has 2000% extra focus, doing that rewind. So keep in mind that up till now, we have just activated the Red Hulk's passive. On his special, he has 5 charges. He's ready to go, but Coulson is still going to go first. Here's bug number 2. That is going to be fixed, and then we're going to have a change to Coulson coming to the game, which is going to increase the validity of this team. So let's look at the damage of our enemy Green Hulks and Red Hulks. So he's at 75,000 damage. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to back it all the way. Green Hulk is at 115. Abomination is at 82. Green Hulk is at 104. She-Hulk is at 89,000. So once again, Red Hulk is the highest damage. The ultimate from Coulson is supposed to apply defense down for 2 turns, taunt for 2 turns, and disrupt for 2 turns to the enemy with the most damage. Call 2 allies with the most damage to attack the enemy with the most damage. This should hit Red Hulk. It did hit Red Hulk. Okay, there was a bunch of testing where this did not always go for Red Hulk and it would go for She-Hulk. Of course, now it's working. Okay, maybe they did fix all the playtest. That's good. However, they are still going to be changing Coulson's kit so that it is going to be primary target. So the same way where Thing's ultimate is defaulting to target enemies with the highest focus, Coulson is hard programmed to target enemies with the highest damage. It wasn't working last night. Apparently it's working now, which is good. So it is instead going to be your primary target is getting hit by Coulson. Boy, do I look stupid. We're going to leave this in because I think it's funny. So now we can go ahead and we can play this out. We're going to get rid of the Red Hulk that way. And now this is actually going to be a proper test. We're going to be able to see how this team fares against the full Gamma. What I would say is that once Red Hulk goes down, you need to take out Green Hulk because you don't want to get stuck behind the infinite taunts. Next, oh, is he not gone yet? Yeah, there he goes. Next, we're going to turn our attention to the Abomination. We're just trying to take members out as quickly as possible. She-Hulk is definitely one that we need to get gone ASAP, which is a good idea. None of the enemies have any buffs. This doesn't do any sort of turn meter rewind, so we're better off doing the basic from Coulson. That's going to be a really nice turn meter rewind. And then we could Thing punch somebody to death. Now, Thing hits like an absolute truck, so we could continue to take out Abomination, or we could take our chances and go for the She-Hulk. And that's why I wanted to do that, because I wanted to just display how crazy Thing's damage is, especially in the offensive end, where we're able to target him. We're not throwing it at some loser who's taunty. We're not doing anything silly. We are using it as an absolute nuke. And then, as you can see on this punch across, absolutely decimates the Gamma team. No question. Arguably, this team, not even arguably, this team is definitely a better Gamma counter than A-Force Photon is. Not a better Gamma counter than Secret Defenders is, but better than A-Force Photon. Okay, but we need to go talk about another team where the bug is still an issue. So let's go talk there. I'm glad that Coulson seems to have already been fixed on the playtest. Okay, so here we are up against the Infestation team. Now, this is a team I really want New Avengers to beat, primarily because that would free up Kang and Tangled Web, and we can make some interesting combinations with those characters, especially when we're talking about taking out enemy Super Skrulls on defense. Now, would New Avengers take out Super Skrulls? No, you're out of your damn mind. It's not going to be a thing. So let's go ahead and take on this Infestation team. This is a 540k punch-up. We don't care about the punch-up potential. Well, we do, and we're going to talk about it. But just there is a mechanical issue right now that until it is fixed, this isn't even a question. So the first thing I want to talk about is, in this matchup, you cannot hit Big Time Spider-Man. If you hit Big Time Spider-Man, he will go before Thing. So using the Tigra special does rebound chain 4 times. Let's say Black Widow wasn't like blocking out the sides. Let's say Black Widow was in a corner, and then, you know, his Big Time, Swarm, Yellow Jacket, and Ant-Man on one side. You wouldn't use the special. Instead, you would make sure you're at least 1 or 2 units away from the Big Time, and you would use the basic because it only chains to 1 target. All right, so now we haven't hit Big Time, and here is where the issue comes in. So if we were able to target Thing's ultimate, it applies the stun. Now, this is read a little weird here because normally you read it top down. The apply stun appears to happen before the clear all positive effects that apply in war. But actually in practice, it does remove all positive effects. So to illustrate this, I just want you to check out Black Widow. She has the offense up. She's going to have the highest focus for that reason. She also has immunity. She also has all those buffs. I'm going to hit the Thing ultimate now. And as you see, it stunned the Black Widow. So when this is fixed and it's able to target the Big Time Spider-Man, we're going to ult him. He's going to be stunned. He's not going to get the turn he just did because we have 2,000% extra focus on Thing. It clears the buffs ahead of time, and then it does a stun, skipping his turn. If that were to happen, Mockingbird's turn is next. She would be able to ultimate. She would do I believe it's 35% rewind on everybody. Then it's going to be Coulson. Then it's going to be Ronan. Then it's going to be Tigra. And then it's going to be a dead Infestation team. I'm really excited to test this when that bug is fixed. And I think it's going to do something very interesting with the New Avengers. And let's talk about that here before we round out this video. The balance of this team is kind of perfect in a new war team. It is, in my opinion, an Apex defense team because I've seen it beat the Apex offensive team and it crushes literally everything else. Now, will a hybrid be crafted that will take out the new Avengers? I'm sure it will. I'm going to be working on that, but I only do those kind of hybrid stuff once it's live. And then on the offensive side, the fact that it beats Gamma, and more importantly, the fact that it presumably beats Infestation. If we can stun that big time Spider-Man, I'm like 100% sure we beat Infestation. And that clears up so many counters. And for a lot of you that don't have Kang Tangled Web taking on these guys, you're using Knowhere here, it'll free up your Knowhere to go beat up anything else. With that said, in practice, there's normally Apocalypse with Gamma, or there's some sort of Gamma variation. I think the new Avengers will beat every kind of variation, but not the Apocalypse one. So this team, in my opinion, is more valuable on war defense because it will pull your opponent's Knowhere. Take that for what you will. Most competitive alliances are going to be putting this on war defense. For all of you, very lucky. I'm very jealous of you who get to use this on offense. I think it's an amazing team. I didn't show it here because then the video would be too long. I was doing 1 million punch-ups into Weapon X. I was doing 1 million punch-ups into Underworld. I was doing crazy punch-ups into Death Seed, Unlimited, Infinity Watch, you name it. This team crushes them on the offensive and defensive side. So look forward to that. I think this team does have value if you love war. And of course, this team has value if you want the new legendary character. Let me know how you're feeling about this team in the comment section below. Let me know if you want me to test any other matchups and actually put a video for them. I'm only showing these because I think these are kind of the primo matchups people would like to see how the team is working. And as always, stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.